अब स्टूडेंट्स कुछ बात करेंगे अबाउट द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ स्विचिंग। स्टूडेंट्स, इंटरनेटवर्क की एग्जांपल हम लोगों ने स्टडी की थी। इंटरनेटवर्क इज बेसिकली अ स्विच्ड नेटवर्क। व्हाट डू आई मीन बाय दैट? ट्रैफिक को एक नेटवर्क के पार्ट से दूसरे नेटवर्क के पार्ट में जाने के लिए you always need to have a switch that forwards the traffic from one part of that network to the other part. Students, when we talk about switching, there are two basic types of switching that is used in today's network. One is more common than the other, but both are prevalent in today's networks. Students, the first type of the switching is called as the circuit switching networks. And the second type of switching that we use in data communication systems is called as the packet switching networks. Students, slide पे चलेंगे and we'll take you through each one of those types in some more detail. In the slide, as you can see, circuit switched network is a network in which there is a circuit which is always existent between the two switches. In order to initiate the communication, we'll need to establish a circuit first. So, a circuit is established when communication is required, and it is torn down when the communication or the requirement of communication is over between the two switches. Students, the switch in this particular case, once the circuit is established, the switch can only make the circuit active or inactive. But that does not take away the requirement of that circuit to be established before any communication can take place between the two endpoints. Students, in this example, as you can see, our endpoints are telephone sets. We have not used computer systems, or we have not used laptops in this particular case. And the reason for that is that circuit switching, it was very common. It still exists in quite a few telecom systems, telecommunication systems, or telephone systems, the PSTN system. Quite a few of these telephone networks now use the second type that we are going to be talking about, which is packet switching. But circuit switching was particular to, it was specific to the networks that contain telephone systems. Students, another thing that you can observe in this slide is that the line or the link that connects the two switches is a high capacity line, whereas the links or the connections that connect each of the telephone sets to the switch, they are the low capacity lines. So in this particular case, we can envision a scenario in which all four telephone sets in one end, they are talking to the telephone sets in the other end. If that's the case, then we are utilizing the whole capacity of the link between the two switches. However, students, if only one telephone set is using the link, only one telephone set is talking to one telephone set on the other end, then we are only using 1/4 of the capacity of the line that connects the two switches. So students, very important concept. In circuit switched network, in circuit switching, only when the link is fully utilized can this circuit switch be fully efficient. We can only use it to 100% capacity if all four lines, as can be seen in this figure, are busy. Now students, second type of the switched networks that we've got are called packet switched networks. The most common type of switching, in fact, the only type of switching that you'll find in the data communication system today is the packet switching. The data is sent from point A to point B using packets. Now, students, as you can see, the two sides are connected using the routers in this particular case. And once again, you have got a high capacity line connecting the two routers, and you have got a low capacity line that uses the machine or the laptops that are on the sending and the receiving end, and they are connected to the router with that. Students, a point that we made in terms of utilizing the capacity in the case of circuit switch networks, in a packet switch, there is a queue that exists that will hold the packets until those packets are transmitted and the line is available between the two routers. What I mean by that is that if we assume that the capacity of the thick line is only twice the capacity of the thin line, the data line connecting the computer to the router, then only two computers at one end can communicate to the two other computers on the other end. Now, very important point, if computer number 3 and 4, they start transmitting at the same time, then as I told you, we need to establish a queue at the router, and those packets from computer number 3 and 4 will be held until the line gets free, and then those packets will be transmitted to the far end. So students, this was the concept of switching. We will elaborate on this concept further, but you need to understand that there are two major types of switching or switched networks. The first one is a circuit switch network, and the second one is a packet switch networks. The most common that we are going to be encountering going forward are the packet switch networks. Thank you.